The Liberal government and the NDP have made a deal on pharmacare. It's a significant agreement because it allows the parties to maintain the supply and confidence pact that they've had for the past 2 years. CBC News chief political correspondent Rosemary Barton joins us now live from Ottawa with more on all of this. So Rosie, just speaking a short time ago with NDP leader Jagmeet Singh, tell us what we know at this point about this agreement.
Yeah, significant, Hillary, you're right, because yes, it maintains the supply and confidence agreement between the two parties for now, meaning the NDP will continue to support the Liberals, but also significant for Canadians who might be struggling to pay for drugs at a time when there are questions around their cost of living and affordability, and for the country, the only country that has a universal healthcare system and no universal pharmacare program. What this agreement does, according to Mr. Singh, is first put in place some draft legislation which will lay out a framework for the beginning of what a national pharmacare program would look like whenever that would happen. And the other thing it does is cover two particular drugs immediately under that program. So diabetes medication, various forms of diabetes medication, and contraception. Again, various forms of contraception will now be free of charge for, when this legislation passes, will be free of charge for all Canadians, whether they have insurance or not. It is a significant step, both for the NDP and for the government, who have been talking about pharmacare for many years. Here's a little bit more of what the NDP leader had to tell me.
We've secured something really important, I'd say really historic for Canadians. We're really excited about this. We have legislation that clearly points to single payer. It references the Canada Health Act and the principles of the Canada Health Act, very much what we needed to get, so that's secured. In addition, we have a commitment to cover two classes of drugs in a single payer model. So proof of concept, we're actually delivering. This is well and above what we had in our agreement. So this is something that's going to make a big difference in the lives of Canadians. The two classes of medication that are covered, contraceptives as well as diabetes medication.
Okay, so what happens next here, Rosie?
Well, I mean, I think from a practical point of view, we need to first see the draft legislation, which could come as soon as next week. That will have to be accepted. The next step, of course, is to go to the provinces and figure out how this will be administered. There are two provinces, actually, that have made moves to offer free contraception already, British Columbia and Manitoba. But in terms of getting that coverage done through the provinces, that will have to be sorted out, as well as with private insurers. It is worth pointing out that the agreement itself, the Supply and Confidence Agreement, didn't talk about legislation. Mr. Singh is right. It talked about a framework. So it is significant that this will include some sort of legislation. The timeline, I think, is something we'll have to ask questions about. And it is significant that it also includes two kinds of drugs, because originally there had been no mention of any kind of money involved in this commitment. Indeed, that was one of the big concerns for the Liberals, because estimates for a national pharmacare program have been anywhere between $15 to $30 billion. So you can see why there would be hesitation to go down that road. But it is the beginning of something. These two drugs will, if this all goes ahead, be available to many Canadians who will need them. The NDP will certainly call this a win, and the Liberals have kept the NDP on side a little bit longer in order to keep them safely and securely in government for a little while longer.
Okay, Rosie, we really appreciate this. Thank you so much. CBC News chief political correspondent Rosemary Barton for us there with that breaking news out of Ottawa.